This is a very, very unfortunate incident as a US-based Nigerian-American woman was arrested over the death of a 75-year-old man that she was caring for. I'm saying this, I'm bringing this to you because I know that recently so many people have joined the healthcare, so many people have joined the health sector with or without prior qualification, prior experience. I just thought I should come and share this. I'm not trying to get you scared. I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm not trying to threaten you. And I sympathize with the family of the deceased man. I'm bringing this to you because this can be a lesson that you can learn, either experienced or not. Because if you work in health or if you work with people, especially older people with learning disability, dementia, learning difficulty, or older people in general, or even with people with human generally, there's tendency that they will do something that will trigger you. If you've been in health, you understand what I'm talking about. This incident happened in the US. An American-based Nigerian woman. The US police arrest Nigerian-American woman over murder of 75-year-old man. The police authority in a statement on Facebook said that Iheanacho of Middle River was arrested on January 24, 2023 in the 4900 block of Hazelwood Avenue, without incident following an arrest warrant obtained by homicide detective on January 19, 2023. Personnel of the Baltimore Police Department Homicide, Northeast District Homicide, has arrested a 35-year-old female Nigerian-American, Obageriku Jane Iheanacho, for the alleged murder of a 75-year-old Ellsworth Johnson Bay. She was arrested and now she has been charged with second-degree murder and first and second-degree assault. This incident happened, according to the police report, on May 18, 2022, and at approximately 3:45 p.m. Northeast District Patrol officer responded to the 5000 block of Frankfurt Road to investigate a reported aggravated assault. Once at the location, officers spoke with a care center manager who advised a 75-year-old male patient was knocked down and injured by a contractor employee. This woman was working with this 75-year-old man. She was contracted to care for him. I don't know what would have happened. I don't know what would have triggered it. There are so many sides to stories like this. But I'm going to tell you what I've learned from this story, what I want you to also learn, because it can happen to anybody. It can happen to you. It can happen to me. You can be in any situation like this. This is a very good example for us to learn from. The victim suffered a broken hip during the assault. The victim was transported to an area hospital where he was admitted. On September 5th, 2022, at approximately 5:37 a.m., a hospital staff member informed other officer that 75-year-old Ellsworth Johnson Bay had passed due to his injury. The deceased was then transported to the medical examiner office for an autopsy, and homicide was notified. On January 12, 2023, at approximately 6 a.m., the medical examiner office ruled the death of homicide by blunt force trauma, meaning that patient died from trauma which must have occurred when the assault happened. She was working with this patient, but I do not know what happened. It was not properly explained what must have triggered her to push the man. If you're working with patient, difficult patient, dementia patient, I'm not saying this patient was demented or had any of this disorder or anything. I'm just saying that if you're working with patient or even with people generally, there are times when you may be triggered, you may be annoyed, you may be offended, especially if you're working with dementia patients. Sometimes, most of the time, they do not know what they're saying, and if anything happens, they will tell you that you should either leave the scene. If it is going to be threatening, you should just leave the person, leave the scene, and seek safety, seek advice. I'm actually making this video because I know recently so many people came into the UK or travel to countries as carers to work with people. And most of the people that they are working with, especially in the UK, are older people. People with dementia, lack of capacity, people that need help. You can be in a difficult situation where those patient or that person you're working directly with will annoy you, or maybe they don't want you, they may have been triggered, they may be having mood swing. I don't know what can happen, and I'm not saying that those are the only reasons why sometimes this kind of thing happen. There are still people I'm not going to lie to you, there are some healthcare providers that are not nice at all, that are horrible, because we've seen cases where tapes were played, we've seen cases where people were caught on camera assaulting older people for no good reason at all, assaulting people for no reason whatsoever. I'm saying, in case you find yourself in such a situation where you're faced with a difficult patient, a difficult resident, or somebody that you think is going to annoy you or upset you, apart from the psychological aspect of nursing, of caring for those people, if you see that you cannot calm the person down, or you cannot resolve the situation, the best thing for you to do, as long as the person is safe, is for you to excuse yourself from such environment. I also want to please encourage us, advise us, if you're coming to any country, anywhere you find yourself and you're working with people, try to put yourself in their shoe and try to work with them as if they were your parent. If you put yourself in their shoe and you remember that one day this can be you, one day, tomorrow, you don't know how, you don't know what the future holds for you. And this can even be your parent. You'll be able to understand that, being patient with them, especially when you're working with dementia patients. I worked in care homes for a few years, so I understand how it can be. Sometimes patients can be very difficult. Your resident can be extremely difficult, but you have to learn to manage such situation. And I'm making this video especially for so many people that have come into the country, especially the UK, with different background. Some are engineers, some are teachers, some are different background, but now they're into health and they're now faced with managing difficult patients, working with people, caring for people who do not understand. Some people can, especially when you have dementia, they do not understand what you're doing, why you're in their space. We have to learn to please be very patient, be very calm. She was charged, and she's been charged with murder, she's been charged with assault. We do not know what must have caused this. For the fact that she's Nigerian and American based, by now I know she will have known the system and be able to know how to manage situations like this. But it can happen to you, it can happen to anybody, but unfortunately this is a very big offense. Once the patient was confirmed dead, she was then immediately wanted. And you know how this can affect you, how this can affect your relative, how this can affect your family. It doesn't matter what the patient might have done to this woman, it doesn't matter what might have happened. At the end of the day, end results made somebody lose their life. And I know so many people, especially when you go to work in their homes, it can be very difficult. And I want you to remember that some of the residents or clients that you have, their relative will have planted cameras somewhere, or just try to behave, and please just try to be compassionate and remember that you're there to help this person, and try not to put yourself in such situation where at the end of the day you'll be blamed. Please just always try, remember that you're there to care. And please don't forget conflict management. And if you need to take more courses before you venture into caring for people, especially adults with incapacity, please take more lessons and don't just dabble into situations that you'll not be able to help yourself. Because at the end of the day, your decision will not just affect you, it will affect the family of the person you're caring for, it will affect your family. My sympathy to the family of the people that lost their family, but I just hope you've learned a lesson. I hope I've been able to pass my message across, because when I saw this, my heart actually broke, because nobody's going to hear her side. No matter what her side is, somebody is dead. But I hope you understand my point. I hope you were able to learn something from this. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in another video. Until then, take care, stay safe, and please try to stay safe. See you later. Bye.